What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we find ourselves at another weekly reset in Edge of Fate. Of course, Solstice has now concluded, but for those who want the grind, it of course continues. So initially today we do get another patch for the game, so we'll cover the patch notes, all the info regarding the changes Bungie have implemented. Hopefully a couple of juicy bits in there. Plus we'll round up some of the content available in the game this week, vendor inventories, Eververse, and our featured content for the reset day in the portal. Plus we'll cover any other updates Bungie give us associated with the content this reset. So if you guys enjoy the video, a rating very much helps me out on the channel. Also be sure to get subscribed and I'll keep you posted with more content. Now though, let's get into it. First up, we should say Solstice has now concluded. Sad about it, of course, because the loot farm with regards to higher tier drops were pretty good, right? I think a lot of players will be wondering, what now? Of course, if you did grind all the way up to over 400 power while Solstice was active, many of the rewards are going to be a bit juicier, but otherwise the climb continues. Before we get into the patch notes, we'll find out shortly if there are any unexpected reset boosts or points of intrigue, I guess. Otherwise, Trials will be back again on the weekend. And until we get weekly featured loot, Trials will essentially be the same thing as what we had last weekend. A lot of Bungie's focus at this point will be on Ashen Iron, delivering some of the changes they've outlined regarding power and stuff, as well as the new content offering. So realistically, it probably will be a quieter 2 or 3 weeks until we get to that point in time. Either way, let us know any things that you are wrapping up in the game this week. Now though, let's cover the patch notes for the update today, which is 9007. And straight into it, for Edge of Fate, Bungie say they fixed an issue where Kepler gear continued to display as a reward in the activity tooltip for the Kepler weekly missions after the first completion. The actual rewards from the weekly missions haven't changed, and both weekly missions still drop a high tier piece of Kepler gear once per week on the first completion. This is unchanged. But finally, the Time Latch Missions playlist is the best activity to get random higher tier Kepler gear, or the sieve, when it's active. So basically it's an update to the tooltip, more specifically, and we can still go ahead and farm those pieces of gear if we want to. Otherwise, for the portal, this is a good one. Bungie fixed an issue where the opening objective in Caldera solo ops could be partially skipped. So both the Vex Shield Cubes and the Dark Matter Mounds must now be destroyed in order to progress. So basically you can't throw a Tangle or whatever other thing at them and destroy them easily. But we have to do it the intended way. Otherwise, the Solo Ops playlist now allows players to return to orbit after completion without forcing them to start a new activity, which is nice. Plus they say we've adjusted the thresholds for when combatants and activities visually display if they are hard or very hard to better align with the changes to the sandbox in the Edge of Fate and more accurately communicate difficulty to players. So those are the portal updates for today. No power changes just yet, which I know a lot of players are waiting for. Bungie sort of indicated they'd make some small steps before Ashen Iron, but at this point maybe we are going to have to wait a couple more weeks to get the actual September update. We'll just have to wait and see. Kind of crazy that they spent energy focusing on fixing Caldera though. It feels relatively minor versus some other things going on in the game, but whatever. Anyway, for exotic armor on Starfire Protocol, they've increased the fusion grenade energy returns on it for both empowered or radiant weapon hits from 3.5 to 5%. So a fix / small buff. Then on weapons, they fixed an issue with destabilizing rounds that would cause the perk not to grant volatile rounds under poor network conditions. Then lastly, for quests and pursuits, they reduced the number of seasonal challenges needed to claim the top challenger and its large pile of bright dust to 42. This must be completed and claimed before Ashen Iron launches on September 9th. Of course, at that point we will get a new reward pass, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, in general, they removed audio feedback from the Solstice Lustrous Armor set 2-piece perk to prevent it from playing repeatedly. They also fixed an issue where the slow and small modifier would occasionally cause audio problems. And lastly, an issue where shield charging sounds would occasionally get stuck while the Brawn modifier was active. So there we go, those are the patch changes for today. As always, I'll keep you posted when we get further updates from Bungie. I'm kind of hoping the TWID this week is going to be a little bit juicy with regards to upcoming changes for Ashen Iron or whatever, but let me know your thoughts down below. Right, let's have a quick look. Wow, I almost forgot this is how the portal should look now that Solstice isn't a thing. Let's have a quick look. We got a boom slang available from Solo Ops, K1 Logistics, featured right here. Otherwise, I was hoping to see some of those difficulty changes for Fireteam Ops because they're legitimately harder than Pinnacle Ops at the minute. Haven't quite made it in just yet. We've got Kel's Fall with the Bushido mark, and otherwise in the Crucible, you can get a Faustus Decline if you want to play some cutting edge Rumble today. Otherwise, of course, all those featured things will change on a daily basis. Something that actually isn't displayed in the game interestingly enough, though. Bungie shared it on Twitter. We'll go ahead and just throw this up over the top. Why not? But special weapon damage and ammo drops apparently have been increased in activities throughout the portal this week, and it's available for all players. So that's the thing to take advantage of if you feel like it. Interesting that it doesn't appear to be displayed in game. Maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know if it's on the modifier screen or something. Oh, there we go. Accelerator Special Surge. I guess it is displayed in the game. So more special weapon damage and ammo drops, which is a nice little bonus, I suppose, but doesn't quite compensate for Solstice, of course. Let us know if you're jumping in to continue the grind this week, either way. Otherwise, for the Eververse store, of course, there are all these Solstice things hiding away if you do feel like grabbing any, but we've got the Nightly Noir plate, so chest pieces from that set available for Bright Dust this week, and they're 1200 Bright Dust. Otherwise, on the front page, we have the Assembly Rider for 2500 Bright Dust available this week from back in Season of Defiance. Very curious looking thing indeed. There's also the Thumbs Up projection for 1500 Bright Dust, and for our front page shaders, we initially have Rustberry available right here, and Copperbrand is also up this week as well. I've got a weird mishmash of armor because I was playing around with it before reset today. But for the main Bright Dust section, we have the Ice Scream Scream. Wow, some Solstice things still up for Bright Dust this week. Okay, I take back my comment about silver. Sorry, Bungie. If you feel like grabbing that, it's 3250 Bright Dust. Otherwise, there is the Cool Down legendary emote available this week as well. I feel like I'll need to cool down for 700 Bright Dust. Otherwise, we've got the Grillmaster Shell, the sort of robot Grillmaster Ghost, which is interesting. That's 2850 Bright Dust. Otherwise, there is the Flying Ace available from Solstice as well, which is up for 2000 Bright Dust. You know what this screams to me? Bungie had planned to do 3 weeks of Solstice and for some reason changed their mind and made it 2 weeks, and that's why they'd already programmed a 3rd week of Eververse. Question mark. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm not. For whatever reason, they did make it 2 weeks. There's also the Titanium Tyrant available for 2500 Bright Dust, and the Final Dictum ornament for the Ergo Sum is up this week as well from back in Heresy, which is quite a nice looking thing, I suppose. That one's 1250 Bright Dust. We've got the Flamingo projection from Solstice here as well for 1500 Bright Dust. But for our second page of shaders, firstly, Biolume is available this week. There is also Growing Guilt, a feeling I'm very used to right there. And Royal Protector is available, which is quite a nice one as well. Then finally, we've got the Groovadelic baby up for grabs this week too. All of them being 300 Bright Dust, so give us your thoughts. But lastly, there is the Tiger Effects and Catch Flight entrance transmat effects, as well as the Heartbreaking entrance. And all 3 of these are 450 Bright Dust. So let us know down below if you plan to grab anything from the Eververse store this week. Otherwise, don't forget, of course, Zavala will have that selection of items that you can grab from his inventory for power boosts or indeed higher tiered rewards, depending on where you are in the power climb. So worth giving Zavala a visit as always, and good luck. Hopefully there'll be something nice to grab. For today, guys, that is what we have to round up in this video. So as always, if you found it helpful, a rating very much helps me out on the channel. Be sure as well to get subscribed so that I can keep you posted with more Destiny content. Otherwise though, I very much appreciate you tuning in, and whatever you get up to, I hope you guys have an awesome day.